Welcome to MacGyver's Workshop, where you never know what we're going to be working on next. If you're not too careful, you just might learn something.
Hi there, and welcome to MacGyver's Workshop, where you never know what we're going to be working on next, and if you're not too careful, you just might learn something. Now today, this is going to be kind of a quick and dirty video here. I have an ECM out of a 1989 Ford Mustang GT. I was having some concerns about the way the car was running, and I pulled the ECM out and checked it, and we found some bad juju in there. So let's open this thing up and I'll show you what I found. Now to open this, okay, we are going to have a T15 screws here and a couple of T9s back here. Now you can tell that this ECM had got some moisture in it. This is a convertible, so that's not unusual to get some dampness in there. The other thing I noticed too, this is a remanufactured ECM. I checked the number and it comes back to a Cardone reman ECM, and the date on it is February of 2015. So this thing's had an ECM replaced already in it, but one of the common failure points in these is there are three capacitors on this board, and they're electrolytic capacitors, and over time they leak their electrolyte out, which is very corrosive, and it eats the legs off them, and you find that you have problems with the way the car runs. And sometimes it'll even be a no start condition. But fortunately, we can fix this, and within the Mustang community, which I'm not necessarily a part of, but after doing some research, I found that some of your more ardent Mustang fans will go in and do these repairs rather than purchase another ECM. Now, myself having an electronics background and an electronics workbench here, this is something that I can certainly do. I have tools for it. Pop this off of here. Set that aside. Now, the circuit board has like a rubberized coating on it, and the only thing that's exposed are these contacts here at the back. Now, if you put like a chip tune or something on it, you would find a little module plugged onto here. This one appears to be just bone stock. I'm assuming this is an A9P because this is an automatic car, but I can't really tell by the number because they mix the A9Ps and the A9Ls together. So I'm not really getting any good information as to exactly what flavor this ECM is, but it doesn't really matter because what we've got here you have three capacitors, one here, and one here, and those are the ones that leak. And let's see, this one I think is, yeah, this is the 10 microfarad, and these two are 47 microfarad. All right, so you can see right here that the bottom of this capacitor is pretty well blown out, and the one leg is completely not making contact with the board. And this spooge you see here is remnants of the electrolyte that leaked out of the capacitor. So we know this one's bad. This is one of the 47s. Yeah, I'm not sure what all this speckly stuff is all over this thing, but it's doesn't appear to come off. And we can see we have some leakage right there on that back leg. So we're going to call that one bad. And then this one, if I can get to it here, you can see that one's bad as well. It's starting to leak, and you can see the legs are corroded. And that's where the electrolyte starts leaking out, and first thing it does is it corrodes those legs to the point where they break, and then you don't have that capacitor in the circuit anymore, and it will make the circuit very unstable. Because that's pretty much what a capacitor does. It's a filter, you know, or a buffer. So now we know what we have that we're dealing with here. We will go ahead and start. We'll have to remove the circuit board from the housing here, and that's going to be these T15s here. And then we'll have to scrape off the rubber coating around where those capacitors go through the circuit board, and then we can desolder them. I've got some new capacitors coming. They're not going to be here till tomorrow, but we'll do a two-parter, and we'll just we'll show the first part, taking the caps out, and then the second part will be putting the new caps in. Now you also have two more underneath here that you need to get out. Pretty sure that these have to come out. I haven't done one of these before, but you know, this is just basic electronics here, nothing special. Now in theory, if I got all the bolts, it should come out of here. Yep, and there we go. Now we'll flip this puppy over and look at the back side of our circuit board where these caps go. And we've got one here, one here, and one here. Let's look at this 110 microfarad up here. That's the most exceptionally nasty one. And I'm going to say that that leg, those two legs right there are probably it. Let me confirm that. So we're one down from here, here, and here. All right, let's focus on this one. want to be careful when you're scraping this off. You don't want to scrape the trace off the board. You just want to get this rubber coating out of the way. Of course, the rubber silicone coating is an insulator. Okay, so we've got that one. And let's find the other one. That one's going to be over here probably. Alright, that's this one here. Then we got that last one. He's right around right there. All right, now what we'll do, we'll go after this nasty one first here. We will desolder this bad boy. And what this is a solder sucker gun. So it'll heat up that solder joint. And then when the solder melts, suck it out of the board, suck it off the board there. There we go. And we got her out of there. We've still got this other leg that's corroded off, still stuck on the board. I'll get a picture of that. And one other thing I should mention, remember, when you're working on these, the negative leads all face this side of the board on the cap placement here. You can see that one there, the negative stripe is pointing that way, and so is this one here. I'm going to stand this up over here. And what I'll have to do is I'm going to have to get on this with my tweezers. There we go. Now I'll use my phone camera. There you go. Now you can see that lead that I pulled out of there. Put that over here with this. And then we'll get down in here and look at the board. What we'll do is we'll clean those holes up now that we've got all the leads out of there, and see the damage that did to the board there. Hopefully we'll be able to fix that. Alright, so now we can get down in here and look at our little contacts here. There's one, and then there's another one. We still got a little cleaning to do on that. And then there's that one there. You still see some of the little rubber bits there that we got to clean off, but we'll get that taken care of easy enough. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow when we have our components. So stay tuned.